All right, we're going live in 3, 2, 1. Say hello, Sid.
Hello, Sid. I have a new microphone. This is not a growth. Do you remember the trouble with tribbles on Star Trek? Where the little furry animals just get multiplying and multiplying on the ship? That's what they look like.
It looks like you're trying to smuggle a gerbil.
When Marty Cruz's daughter had a sugar glider, you know, a little flying squirrel, he went to see her. I think she went to Boston College. He flew to Boston with that thing in his pocket on Southwest Airlines.
No.
Up there and back. If that thing had gotten loose on the plane.
Of course he did.
Exactly. Yes.
Jane Ramsey had some sort of little.
It's a sugar glider,
that
yeah.
She brought to church every Sunday.
Sugar glider. They have to be with you or they'll grieve themselves to death.
I wonder if they buried it with her.
How many are we up to?
We are up to 33 currently, and someone asked if, at your leisure, if you could give the order of operations for tonight.
No.
There you go.
We're going to sing I Was Glad first, and then all the way through with What Shall I Come? And then we're going to look at, for the first time, these are the hands from Unconditional Love.
That's movement 4.
Movement 4. So Jim sent earlier, my partner said they were leaving me because they couldn't stand my slipping English choral anthem titles into everyday life. And to be honest, I was glad.
That's why you're wearing horses tonight, isn't it?
I think that's very funny.
We're up to 45.
He also sent have you seen the video of the woman at the gas station putting gas into plastic bags?
Oh, no.
She doubled them. They're doubled. But she's putting gas into plastic bags.
Oh. There was a guy this morning that had about 10 plastic cans lined up, and he was just going down the thing. I mean, people, it's like they're like the toilet paper thing. You know,
Viva
they're just-
Romeo. That's what that is.
Howard, when I woke up this morning, I had a message from Howard that said, there's a tiger loose in Houston. Don't barbecue tonight.
Did you see the update on that?
They caught the guy, right?
Yeah, but they said, and I quote, the location of the tiger is yet
Oh,
known.
good.
I'd heard somebody picked him up in a Honda Civic or something. Is that right? I was like, come on, Kitty.
Come on, come in the back seat.
Jump in.
Shotgun.
I mean, first of all, if it was your tiger, why are you driving around a Honda Civic? That's the question.
How we doing?
We are up to 52.
Come on, peeps. We'll wait another minute, and then we'll sing I Was Glad. Sing first soprano, second tenor, James. And then we'll address on page 6 whether to do first choir, second choir. In fact, let's talk about that now. When we get to page 6, do we have the same page numbers?
Yeah.
Rob, why don't you play the parts for first choir, and we'll sing second choir.
Okay.
Okay? And then after the Queen arrives, it's just 4-part, right? Yeah.
There's a couple little soprano two notes on the
Which-
page 11 and 12.
Do soprano 1.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin with I Was Glad. Grace is going to sing first soprano. James is going to sing second tenor. And then when we get to the double choir part, Rob's going to play the first choir and we're going to sing second choir. Rob's going to play the prelude. Here we go, from the top. Here we go. 3, and. One, two. And page 10. Skip to page 10. The best part. Two, and. Whoa. I'm sorry. I think we got just a little bit apart. Let's start again at letter G. Maybe just a tad slower. Letter G.
B letter G flat.
Funny. I see what you did. Here we go. A little tad slower. 3 and 1. Take an O breath. And we relax here. That's love. Bring it down several notches. And up. Excellent. Touchdown. Remember on the last page that we're singing plenteousness. We replaced the T-E with a C-H. Plenteousness. It's on the last page and the next to last page. Make a big deal out of plenteousness. Likewise, let's talk about some accenty things. Look at page 5 at the bottom. I think it's page 5 for all of us. Shall stand in the gates, O Jerusalem. Look how many accents there are. Pretty much every note for every part is accented. O Jerusalem. Should not be legato. Should not be legato. Likewise, at the beginning, don't be legato at the beginning. I was glad, glad when they said unto me. Nothing legato about that opening, any of it. We'll go into the house of the Lord. We won't get legato until page 4 on Our Feet Shall Stand in Thy Gates. But before that, it needs to be pretty separated. Did you have your hand up? Sorry. And then I'm just biased because this is a part I've always sung, but I think it's true. On page 10, tenors, you have a lot of melody, important melody stuff going on. What's a D flat? They shall prosper that love thee. They shall prosper that. All of that needs to be really brought out. I think that's melody, or at least I'm going to say it is. I would say I bought the music, but it was here when I arrived, so I can't say that. Do we have any questions? We know this piece so well. We're going to do this on the first Sunday we're back together in the sanctuary, and it's going to be weepy, wonderful. Okay, thank you. Let's look at With What Shall I Come? I like this piece. I do. I sort of feel like it's like taking on redoing your bathroom, and about halfway through you think, why did I start this in the first place? It's going to be wonderful, but it is not easy. Sorry, I just unplugged myself. Suddenly I got very quiet. It's worth it, but it's a long trip. Now, I think we're ready to just haul off and sing it from the beginning. There may be questions, but let's talk about who sings what. We don't have to worry about divisi until page 4 with bass and soprano, right? Jeff, why don't you just go ahead and sing bass, which is what you're used to. And then for now, sing first soprano, Grace. Stay on bass, Jeff. There's a momentary divide at the bottom of 7, but stay on the first soprano part. Oh, you know what we have not done? Ooh, we have not done page 8, have we?
No.
We haven't. I'm so sorry. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Let's start with page 8. Let's speak it before we sing it. And let's dare not go too fast. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
I love it. It sounds like church with Children of the Corn. It's a little creepy, but I think it helps us. I think it helps with the rhythm. I'm not looking at you, but I picture you staring straight ahead, like into the field. Okay, can y'all do that again? Rob, would you play parts and let us speak our rhythm? At the top of page 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
Yes, and if I were singing this, I would be 40% of the time not successful with the fermata in the second measure at the top of that page. I think the women have an easier time locking onto that and holding their spot than the men do. We kind of want to go ahead, so don't blow through that fermata. All right, now let's sing top of page 8. First soprano and bass.
Do you want me to sing baritone?
Sure, if you want to. Sure. So you'll hear bass and baritone, tenor, alto, first soprano. He has told you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got totally
that's all right. That's all right. Let's go back and pick up our belongings and do it one more time. In fact, let's hear trebles first. Just trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
Good. Let's do men the same way.
Slightly more successful.
Last measure, top of 8, men, he. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
Here's With Your God one more time. Sing With Your God and
With your God.
yeah, and for you at home and for people in the room, make sure it's with your your God. It's easy to make it your. Let's put it together. Top of 8, last measure. This is crazy to tune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good, to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God.
Sing God and. There we go. Good. That's all right. Then we go back to what we know. I think we can go back to the beginning and sing now with the instructions that we have, right? Somebody get Brandon Boyd on the phone. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What shall I go before thy Lord, and bow myself before God on high? With what shall I come before thy Lord? With what shall I come? With what shall I with what shall I come?
We're going to come back to those few measures in just a minute.
With what shall I come? With what shall I before thy Lord, before God on high, before God on high, before the Lord? With what shall I come? With what shall I come? With what shall I come?
We'll come back to that in a minute.
With
1, 2.
With thee shall I come.
Just do the last two measures, if you would. And let's take it just a little bit slower so we can make sure we can tune those. And 1, 2.
With thee shall I come.
Sorry, once more for me, please. And 1, 2.
With thee shall I come.
Good. Look back. Where did I say we were going to go back? Was it at the top of
Oh,
6? No.
it was the top of page 3.
Do the pickup from the bottom of the first page with. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With what shall I come? With what shall I come?
Were you trying to tell us Were you trying to tell us we were doing something wrong?
I don't think I heard the D in the alto
No, I'm sorry,
in bar 13.
I misheard where you were starting.
That's okay. Let's do it again. Pick up to measure 13.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With what shall I come?
Can we do that one more time? What shall I should be in octaves. Here we go. Here's our pickup note again. Sorry. Go and 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With what shall I come? With what shall I come?
Yeah, there's not a place in here where we can relax about tuning, can we? I mean, it's crazy. Do we have questions?
Yes. Could we do a quick review of the S2 at page 8, please?
Page 8.
And then Leslie Creel said, second soprano needs some loving too, please.
Just in general or
Specifically on page 8, but Leslie in general.
in general?
Yes.
Okay, Leslie, this is coming your way. Here we go. Second soprano, page 8. He has told you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He has told you, O mortal, he has told you what is good.
Keep going.
To love kindness, to walk humbly with you.
You have the most fun part, second sopranos, right there.
Yes.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Lydia asked if you would like a hard K on the word come.
Please. That would be great. Do we have other questions?
Do you want to do the second soprano part? Said about like page 10 as well, or
We sure can. Page 10, second soprano, pick up to measure 65. You go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
with love shall I come before the Lord. With this shall I come. With this shall I come. With this shall I come.
Any other second soprano parts in anywhere in there?
Like, one note on the bottom of page 7, but it's a step away.
Yeah, that one should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if we don't have any other questions, let's move on to, that was great, y'all. That's such a hard piece. Let's move on to the new, with these hands, or these are the hands, sorry, from Unconditional Love. This is a great text, written pre-pandemic, considerably pre-pandemic, but certainly means a lot here. Now, let's make note of the tempo because it is very slow, 56. We go, keep going. And
These are the hands that touch us first. Feel your head and find your post and make your bed. These are the hands that test the steel, hold your
and
Feel the beat, change the ball, fix the dream. Pour the jar, replace your hip.
now we're back in 4 momentarily. Not momentarily, that's all right. For a moment. Three and 1.
These are the hands that of full faith make us rich. Soothe the soul and the swells. Give us a child. Throat sharps design the lambs, and these yours are the hands that stop the leaves and see the plan, wipe the rags. Carry the can, cover the veins, mimic the past, long the doors, and touch us.
Good. Let's get comfortable with that deceptive cadence at the end. We're expecting it to go one way, it goes another way. And for me, it's kind of double deceptive. It doesn't even do the deceptive thing I expect. It does a different one. Rob, would you play Touch Us Last parts? Well, I guess accompaniment is the same. Cool.
Can we do those last 3 measures then?
Sure. Let's do the last 4 measures.
Yeah.
Last 4 measures with parts. Here we go. Log the dose. 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, that G is just.
Do you want to do it again?
Can we?
Sure. Again, last 4 bars. Log the dose. Notice there's a 8th pulse lift after dose. 3, 4.
Log
Okay. I'm not sure how it happened that I transferred this into my iPad with no markings. Do you have markings?
Well, there aren't that many in this one. Like, do you have markings on measure 36, bottom of 6? Do you have that breath?
No.
Really?
I don't know how that happened, but I don't. The reason I ask is, am I not correct, and I may not be right, so don't worry about it, that okay, I don't know how, but what I had, maybe, let's do it again. And now I'm looking at the copy that has a lift after make your bed, but that's the first lift, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we should be singing, and it's going to be a lot easier when there's more than 4 of us. These are the hands that touch us first. Feel your head, find the pulse, and make your bed. Then we breathe. None of that has a breath beforehand. No corporate breaths, anyway. These are the hands that tap your back, test the skin, hold your arm, lift, of course. See, there's a tiny little lift after the word jug in measure 17. Yeah, I think what I was looking at was for some reason, my original from Howard. Let's do it again. Now, before we do, Rob, would you play parts as musically as you always do? These are the hands that tap your back, test the skin. I'm particularly interested in that melody.
Sorry.
Sorry. So beautiful. It's sweeping. Da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da. So that is why the tempo has to really remain very, very patient, because it's just so poignant, super, super poignant. Let's do it again, one more time from the beginning, and then we'll be done. Go, 3, 4. There'll be no breath here. No breath here. And 1, 2. These are back in 4 for a few minutes, a few seconds. And it's sweeping again. 2. Make the cast. Easy, 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 easy. Yeah, some of those little tenor lines in there are tricky. Tricky business. Great text. Oh my goodness. Those will be hard to get through. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Monica and Randy. Singers all, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sydney.
And we'll see you on Zoom.